Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now today I have another PlayStation Store summer sale video for you guys. This sale is incredible. There's so many fantastic deals in this sale. Great games, easy platinums, super discounted prices on stuff. So I've decided to do a couple of videos about it. This video specifically is looking at 10 games that you can purchase for under $6 on the PlayStation Store. So I've got 10 games, every single one of them is less than $6 that you can purchase in this summer sale that's going on at the moment on the PlayStation Store. And all 10 of these games are bangers. There's nothing in here that's a dud. These aren't your easy platinum trophy games. These are just 10 awesome games for less than $6. Let's dive in and take a look at all of them.
You know how to light a spark.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you're a new viewer of the channel, please hit the subscribe button down below somewhere where the Pikachu is, and don't forget to subscribe. I do videos like this every single day on the channel and you're not going to want to miss out on what they are. Yeah, before I start, these games aren't in any particular order. They just are kind of a list that I pulled together, all with discounted prices. Without further ado, I want to get on with this video, so let's dive straight in. So let's dive in and look at number 10, I guess. So number 10 is a game called Livelock. Livelock is a top-down cooperative shooter. If you think of games like Alien Nation and Dead Nation that came out earlier on in the PS4 generation, this is very similar to those games. It's your sort of isometric view, top-down twin-stick shooter style game. This game actually has a pretty decent co-op component to it as well. You can play with up to 3 players in co-op mode, so you don't have to play through the whole thing by yourself. And believe it or not, this has actually got a pretty decent trophy list, and the trophies are not too bad. It's going to take you around 9 to 12 hours to platinum this, so it's not a gimme platinum, but it is a pretty easy platinum and a pretty decent game to boot. Something I would highly recommend picking up, especially for $4.99 on the PlayStation Store. The next game on the list is Grand Ages Medieval. Now this is $5.99. Grand Ages is published by Calypso Media, and it's an RTS game very similar to your Age of Empires style RTS games that you probably played way back in the day on PC. It has all the basic tropes of an RTS. Construction, research, conquest, expansion, starting off with obviously a small settlement of villages and leading up to an entire empire ruling over an entire nation. So it is kind of a modern take on consoles of that. The game features a multiplayer mode as well, so if you do want to play online with your friends, you can play with up to 8 players online as well. This one came out in late 2015, so it has been around for a couple of years now, but reviews were generally pretty positive for it when it launched, and for $5.99, I mean, you really can't go wrong. And I think this is the most expensive game on our list as well, so still under $6, but $5.99 is a crazy, crazy cheap price. 85% off. Now, this was actually the game on the list that made me want to make this video. When I was looking through it and I saw these games were so cheap. This is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and it's $2.99. Now, this isn't a full game. This is it's sort of like a teaser game or a prologue for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This game is only about 3 hours long, maybe 4 hours long. It doesn't have a platinum trophy, but it's still a pretty competent game in what you're doing. You're infiltrating this camp. Alright, I should rewind a little bit. This is the prologue to Metal Gear Solid 5, made by Hideo Kojima, his last game with Konami before he left to found his own studio. The game did get criticized for being small and a bit of a cash grab when it launched, because I think it launched at a very, very high price for such a small, essentially demo-style game. But at $2.99, this is an absolute steal. This game is awesome. It's built very well. The mechanics and the systems in the game work exceptionally well. And yeah, if you don't know what Metal Gear is, it's a tactical stealth game. Third-person stealth, I suppose, is probably the best way to describe it. You play as this character, Big Boss. And, I mean, I'm not even going to get into the story of Metal Gear because it's too confusing to start and explain this in 2 minutes, but this is a really, really good jumping off point if you're looking at getting into the Metal Gear franchise. And like $2.99, the game is 85% off. It is an insane deal, and it is worth every single cent of that $2.99. Now, following this up, and what is even more unbelievable, is Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain is only $3.99. They are basically giving this game away. This is the full game. This is Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, the entire game. This is like a 30 or 40 hour open world third person action game. And it's incredible. This game was getting 10 out of 10s across the board. This is being touted as one of Kojima's best games that he has ever made. It was his last game that he made at Konami, tied in obviously with Ground Zeroes, which we've just talked about. And it's a fantastic game. Look, the platinum isn't the easiest platinum in the world to earn. It is going to be quite challenging and time consuming because you do have to go back through and finish all the missions on S rank. But the game is phenomenal. And for $3.99, if I could afford to buy this game for all of you subscribers out there, I would absolutely do it because it is just such a good deal and you guys should absolutely play this game. I know it came out in 2015, so it's probably slightly old news at this point. Maybe a lot of you guys already own it, but if you don't, you owe it to yourselves to go out and grab this for this price. It is just phenomenal. Next up, we have Ubisoft's For Honor. This game is $5.99 on the US store. So I guess this is on par with Grand Ages for the most expensive game on the store. This is a multiplayer game. You choose a class or a clan of classes. You can pick between Vikings, Knights, or Samurais, and it's essentially this, I wouldn't say battle royale, but this kind of like third-person hack-and-slash battle game between these three classes. The game also has a single-player mode which can be played solo or in co-op if you're into that as well. And it's a really decent and competent game. The interesting thing about this one is that Ubisoft continue to support this with new content. They did a Year 1 Season Pass, a Year 2 Season Pass, and they continue to update the game with new content now even. So the game is still going to have legs and life in it if you're into that and you want to jump into a multiplayer game to really sink your teeth into. But it also does have that single player online component to it as well that you can play if that's what you're after. Now I know this one was on PlayStation Plus I think about 12 months ago or so I know a lot of you guys would have probably picked it up on PlayStation Plus and got it for free when it was there, but if you didn't, the game is $5.99 at the moment on the PlayStation Store, and for that price it is well worth taking a look at. Next on our list we are looking at Alien Isolation, and this is the good Alien game. I know you've probably heard a lot of stuff about the bad Alien game. This is the good one. This is a first person horror game, I would say, or a first-person thriller game. You play as Amanda, which is Ellen Ripley's daughter from the first Alien movie. She is on the ship trying to investigate, I guess, the truth behind what happened to Ellen Ripley in the first movie, and as you can imagine, based on the title, all hell breaks loose, and this alien ends up chasing her around the ship. The really neat thing about this game is that the alien has this unique AI to it, where it's like it navigates its own way around the ship and intelligently like kind of hunts you down and seeks you down. It doesn't have any pattern to it. It's all random, so it means that every encounter you have with the alien is unique and different and exciting. And it just keeps you on edge constantly. You'll be doing one thing, you'll be completing an objective, and then all of a sudden you'll start hearing the alien and you're going to have to hide from it and avoid it. Your job isn't to fight it or kill it. In fact, your job is to do other things on the ship, and this alien just keeps coming and bugging you. In first person, the game is absolutely terrifying. The game is just a ton of fun, and at $5.99, 80% off, you can't really go wrong with this one. If you're into horror games, thriller games, or even the Alien franchise, then this game is absolutely for you. I should also say, if this game was ever in VR, I think it would be too scary to play in VR. It would just be too terrifying. So that gives you a bit of context of how like frightening this game actually can be. This is actually another one that I had to double take when I saw the price on this one. This is Battlefield 1. This is widely like regarded one of the best Battlefield games that EA has launched, and the game is $2.99. It is 85% off, and that price is correct, believe it or not. You can actually save an additional 15% if you've got EA Access as well and get the game even cheaper. I mean, it doesn't need to be any cheaper. This is cheap enough for EA. You guys can just settle down. This is Battlefield 1. Basically, it's a Battlefield game. You guys know what that is. First-person shooting, big-scale warfare exceptionally well. The game is split into a single-player and multiplayer component. The single-player campaign, though, is split into these vignettes, and you play, I believe, about 5 or 6 different single-player campaigns, all as different characters. These kind of mini 5-hour campaign experiences, and they're done just so damn well. You get all these unique experiences from different parts of war. You play as an Australian guy, you play as a European, you play as an American, and you just experience all these different parts of war, and it's sad and depressing, and the narrative is compelling, but the gameplay is fun and satisfying at the same time. And I can't recommend this one enough. This was my favorite Battlefield game that they have released ever, period. And for $2.99, I honestly thought it was a typo. I legitimately can't believe it is that cheap on the PlayStation Store. So go ahead and whip this one up. I believe the Platinum is not too bad. The single player campaign Platinum component is not that hard. There is multiplayer trophies in this one though, and those are going to be slightly more time consuming. I think you're probably looking at like 30 to 40 hours to platinum it off the top of my head. So not too bad, but not a gimme platinum either. Okay, so Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. This game is $4.99. This is the game developed by Joseph Fares. Now, you might remember him from the Game Awards. He's been doing some pretty crazy stuff of late. This was one of his first games. In this game, you play as these two brothers, and it was a bit more of an indie title when this game launched, but the cool thing about it is that you control the two brothers with each of the analog sticks. So it's a single-player game, but you play both characters simultaneously, and you need to use both characters to solve puzzles. So you'll use the left stick to control one brother and the right stick to control the other brother, and it takes a bit of getting used to and a bit of adjusting. But the game is great. It has a really cool narrative to it. The gameplay gimmick behind the two brothers and controlling the two brothers is really cool. You can see in the video here, you have to balance them as they climb across logs and climbing things, cutting wood, carrying objects, and you have to kind of control both of them, and it really messes with your brain a little bit, but it's neat. The game is very, very good. It's got a lot of heart to it. And say what you will about Joseph Fares, he's a bit of a crazy guy, but he is a very good game designer. After this game, he went on to design the game A Way Out, which is a cooperative prison break game, essentially, which takes a lot of elements from this game, and you can kind of see them being developed on here. But this game as a standalone is exceptional on its own, and for $4.99, it's worth every cent of that. So next up is Dirt Rally. Now, there was a couple of Dirt games on sale here, but I picked Dirt Rally because it's $4.99. And I played this one as well back in 2016, and it was a really decent game too. Dirt Rally is, as you can kind of tell, a rally kart game. It's a racing game. You're playing on dirt. There's not much more to it. The game has a ton of content in it. The game is well underpriced at $4.99. If you're looking for a decent racing game to sink your teeth into, that's kind of a bit different. It's not your Gran Turismo or F1 or anything like that. It is slightly different as rally racing. It's not something you see every single day. I do know Dirt has released a number of games in their franchise since this one as well, and they've probably improved on things. I haven't played them, so I don't know, but when I played this one, I had a ton of fun with it, doing the time trials and trying to get better and better as you go. I'm terrible at racing games as well, so that's saying something if I had a good time with it. And the last game on our list is Doom 2015. This is the Doom reboot game, which came out in 2015. This was widely received as a phenomenal game when it came out. This is $5.99 on the PlayStation Store again, under $6. This game is so worth that. I personally don't enjoy these kind of run and gun type games, but I played Doom 2015 and I had a blast with it. If you've ever played a Doom game in the past, you know exactly what these are about. These are fast-paced, kinetic gameplay. You're always on the move, you're always running, you're always trying to kill something, and the game plays super well. They redid the entire game, basically, for this generation, and they've done a great job bringing it to PS4. There was a new Doom game that released this year as well, which is the sequel to this game, Doom Eternal, which I haven't played yet, but looks to be more of this kind of gameplay, which just works super, super well. So yeah, I would recommend checking this one out as well, especially if you're looking for a nice first-person shooter that plays buttery smooth. Alright guys, and that is it. That is 10 games on the PlayStation Store that you can buy today for less than $6 each. Crazy, right? There is some amazing deals in this sale. I've got a couple of other videos coming out about this sale because there is just so much content to talk about in it. But this is today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video. And if you're going to be picking up any of these games, I hope that you do, because there's some awesome stuff in here. If you do, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up, or a like, I think it's called. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Have a great evening. See you later.